They thought it was just an old fishing boat, drifting near restricted waters. No flag, no ID, no response on the radio. But when the Coast Guard boarded, demanding papers, the woman silently opened a tackle box, pulling out a black wallet. The officer flipped it open, froze, then ordered an immediate retreat. That ID wasn't just classified. It belonged to someone presumed dead. What secret lies behind this quiet woman? Why did an entire coastline reel when the truth began to surface? This isn't just a story about a vessel stopped at sea. It's a journey of loyalty, the echoes of war, and the unyielding flame of a shadow. Discover the story of Elena Vale, the woman who makes us see the cost of sacrifice. Don't look away, because this tale will carry you from injustice to a blazing climax, where truth burns like a wildfire. Hit subscribe on Veteran Best Stories to never miss a story that stirs the soul. Morning fog wraps Galveston Bay, Texas, thick as smoke from an ancient battlefield, blurring the line between sky and sea. The fishing boat Ghost's Whisper glides forward, its scarred hull slicing through silent waters, like a phantom drifting in a dream. Elena Vale, in her 30s, stands at the helm, her calloused hands gripping the wheel. Faded cargo pants, a zipped-up windbreaker, a gray cap shading half her face. She blends into the image of a lone fisherman, facing a bleak day. But her eyes, sharp as a blade, scan the horizon, missing not a single ripple. The boat's engine rumbles low, matching her heartbeat, steady, yet hiding something ready to erupt. In Elena's heart, memories are jagged shards. She was once a true shadow, a covert operative of the Ghost Unit, a name that doesn't exist, not even in the most classified files. Nameless missions, faces she confronted, erased, now mere specters in her mind. Now, as Marie Holt, she lives a fisherman's life, quiet as this boat, trying to bury her past beneath Galveston's waves. But the past, like fog, never fully dissipates. It clings to her, seeping through every breath, every net she hauls from the sea's depths. She stacks fish crates in the hold, each movement precise, like performing a ritual. Her rough hands, though weathered, retain the accuracy of someone who held a gun more than a net. She steps to the controls, her gaze sweeping the sea, where fog begins to sketch ghostly shapes. Then, from nowhere, another engine's roar shatters the stillness. A Coast Guard patrol boat charges in, its bow tearing the water, making Ghost's Whisper sway. Waves slam the hull, icy, like a warning. 3 young officers, weapons glinting at their sides, board her boat. Waterproof jackets shimmer in the dim light, their voices cold, unyielding. Unregistered vessel, identification. Elena doesn't answer. She turns silently, steps to a rusted tackle box in the corner. The lid creaks open, like unlocking a long-buried secret. She pulls out a black wallet, sleek, unadorned, and hands it to the lead officer. He opens it, his eyes briefly smug. Then his face stiffens. His pupils shrink, as if seeing something beyond comprehension. He steps back, his trembling hand touching his radio. "Pull back, now!" His voice cracks, almost a whisper. Elena takes back the wallet, her expression unchanged. Calm, but deep within, a storm rages, restrained. The officers hurry off, their figures fading into the fog, as if they were never there. Ghost's whisper drifts quietly again, but in Elena's heart, a smoldering fire ignites. Her secret, buried beneath the guise of Marie Holt, rises like an unstoppable tide, fierce, uncontrollable. She knows, from this moment, everything will change. At a corner of the dock, Nate, a boy no older than 15, stands frozen, phone still recording. The video he just captured, the Coast Guard's retreat, hits the internet minutes later. "They ran! Who is she?" His hasty caption spreads like wildfire. Elena doesn't know about the video, but she feels the shift in the air, as if the fog around her grows heavier, carrying the scent of trouble. She stands there, one hand on the wheel, the other clutching the black wallet. In her mind, she hears the whispers of the past, missions, faces, secrets she swore to take to her grave. But now, they're awakening, unstoppable. Elena closes her eyes, breathes deeply, trying to shake the hunted feeling creeping into her chest. She's no longer a shadow, but the shadow never left her. And now, as her secret stirs, Elena knows she must face it once more on this boat amid the endless fog of Galveston Bay. The black wallet rests silently in Elena Vale's hand, each scratch on its leather surface a sharp fragment of memory, never fading. Her eyes, keen as a blade, pierce the void where the Coast Guard vessel just vanished. Galveston Bay, usually alive with fishermen's laughter and crashing waves, now lies still, like an arena before a duel. In her chest, her heartbeat is steady, yet heavy, as if counting down to an inevitable moment. She knows, the instant the wallet left her hand, the secret she buried surged forth like a beast awakened. At the dock, Nate's video spreads online, a wildfire raging across dry plains. Within hours, tens of thousands of views, comments firing like bullets. Who is she? Rumors of the woman on Ghost's Whisper, who made the Coast Guard retreat without explanation, ripple from Galveston's narrow alleys to noisy bars, stirring unease in this small town. All eyes turn to Elena, though she stands there, silent, like a shadow out of place. Elena is no mere fisherman. She was part of Ghost, a unit absent from any record, where she carried out nameless missions, leaving traces only in locked rooms and the terrified eyes of enemies. The ID in the black wallet bears a top-secret code, tied to the name Elena Vale, a name declared dead in 2012, after a failed mission no one dares mention. She chose to vanish, to become Marie Holt, to spend days hauling nets on a battered boat, to forget blood and smoke. But the Coast Guard's action, like a razor's edge, sliced through that facade, making her past bleed. She stands motionless, clutching the wallet, her heart heavy as an ocean's weight, yet her eyes defiant, a flame that never dies. Online, the video "They Fled" explodes. A former Navy officer in Houston posts, voice thick with doubt, "I've heard of Ghost. Is it her?" The post, like lightning, streaks from Galveston to national news, touching the hearts of Americans seeking a story beyond the ordinary. Curiosity turns to obsession, obsession to fire. The hashtag #HadGhost's Whisper spreads everywhere, a whisper that ignites faith in justice, in unsung heroes. Far from Galveston, in Pensacola's base, Asher Kane sits before a screen, his gaze darkening as Nate's video plays. At 42, he still carries a warrior's bearing, but his face bears scars of time and loss. Asher fought beside Elena, saw her eyes in their final mission, when she said, voice low as a vow, "I'll disappear." Those words haunted him for years, and now, seeing her on screen, a fire roars within him. He stands, voice sharp as steel. "Ready the fleet. To Galveston. She's not exposed alone." In his heart, fear and faith intertwine. Fear that the past will devour Elena. Faith that she remains an unquenchable flame. Elena knows nothing of Asher, nor the storm brewing online. Mrs. Clara, the cafe owner near the dock, approaches, her trembling hands setting a glass of water before her. "You're a light," she whispers, voice choked, as if speaking to a saint. Elena nods faintly, doesn't drink, her eyes scanning the figures at the dock. The Coast Guard lingers at a distance, their gazes averted, as if afraid to meet hers. The mayor, usually loud with speeches, stays silent, but online, the storm grows. At ghosts. Whisper spreads like fire, carrying Elena's story, not just a fisherman, but a living secret, a wave roaring from the deep. She stands there, still gripping the wallet, as if it's the last tether to her past. In her heart, she hears the murmurs of old years, missions, faces, vows carved into her soul. The past won't release her, and now, with the world watching, Elena knows she can't escape. She closes her eyes, breathes deeply, fighting the hunted feelings squeezing her chest. Justice, like a rising tide, is surging, and she, though unwilling, has become its heart. The Galveston harbor lies quiet, but a deep tremor ripples through, like the heartbeat of buried secrets pulsing beneath its calm facade. Elena Vale stands on the ghost's whisper. The black wallet is tucked inside her windbreaker, yet its weight presses heavy on her chest. Her eyes, sharp as flame, pierce the void, as if they could burn through injustice and lies. The harbor, usually alive with the clank of anchor chains and fishermen's laughter, now feels like a steel forge, searing, ready to temper truth. In Elena's heart, a silent tide surges. The past she swore to bury rises, unstoppable. Nate's video, captured by a trembling boy's phone, has swept social media like a hurricane. Millions of views in hours, comments fire like bullets. Who is she? News of the mysterious woman on Ghost's Whisper, who made the Coast Guard retreat without explanation, shakes not just Galveston, but the nation. From the town's narrow alleys to raucous bars, all eyes turn to Elena. Yet she stands there, silent, like a specter not of this world. In her heart, fear and defiance intertwine. Fear that her secret will drag her back to darkness. Defiance born from surviving what no one could imagine. The ID in the black wallet bears witness to years Elena lived in shadows, executing nameless missions to protect her country. She was once part of Ghost, a unit absent from any record, where she faced enemies even light couldn't touch. But the name on that ID, Elena Vale, was declared dead in 2012 after a failed mission in Yemen, where blood and smoke swallowed everything. She chose to vanish, to become Marie Holt, to haul nets on a battered boat to forget the faces she erased. But the Coast Guard's actions, like a sharp blade, have cut through that facade. Her past bleeds anew. She stands motionless on the deck, hands gripping her jacket's edge. Her heart feels swallowed by the ocean, yet her eyes remain unyielding, a flame that never dies. Online, the storm grows relentless. A former operative in Dallas posts, voice thick with doubt. Ghost. She's a phantom. His words, like a spear, pierce social media, appearing on CNN, stirring the hearts of Americans craving a story beyond the ordinary. Curiosity turns to obsession. Obsession ignites a fire. The hashtag had ghosts whisper spreads everywhere, a whisper amplifying, rekindling faith in justice, in unsung heroes. But for Elena, each view, each comment is a dagger, reminding her that the truth, however she flees, draws near. Far from Galveston, in a Pensacola base, Asher Kane stands before his desk, clutching classified files on Elena. At 42, he still carries a warrior's bearing, but his eyes bear scars of time and loss. Nate's video, like a knife, stabs his heart. Asher was saved by Elena in that final Yemen mission, when she stood on the edge of life and death. Her gaze was cold, yet resolute. Her last words, "Don't look for me," have haunted him for years. Now, seeing her on screen, a fire reignites within. He turns, his voice steel. "Fleet, prepare, to Galveston. She will be protected." In his heart, fear and faith clash. Fear that the past will consume Elena, faith that she remains an unquenchable flame. Elena knows nothing of Asher, nor the storm brewing online. Clara, the harbor cafe owner, approaches. Her trembling hands place a plate of cornbread before Elena. "Your hope," she whispers, voice choked as if speaking to a saint. Elena nods faintly, untouched by the food. Her gaze sweeps the harbor's figures. The Coast Guard lingers at a distance, their eyes uneasy, as if afraid to approach her. The mayor, usually loud with speeches, stays silent, Bugan Kaujin. But online, the storm rages on. Had ghosts. Whisper spreads like wildfire, carrying Elena's story. Not just a fisherman, but a living secret, a wave roaring to life. She stands there, fingers brushing the jacket where the black wallet hides, as if it's the last thread tying her to the past. In her heart, she hears whispers of old years, missions, faces, vows etched into her soul. The past won't release her, and now, with the world watching, Elena knows she can't run anymore. She closes her eyes, breathes deeply, fighting the hunted feeling squeezing her chest. Justice, like a distant ship's horn, races closer, and she, though unwilling, has become its center. Galveston Bay trembles like a steel forge. Each pulse of the air carries the weight of buried secrets, now rising, uncontainable. Elena Vale stands tall on the deck of Ghost's Whisper. Her eyes burn like flames, searing through injustice, fierce and unyielding. The black wallet, holding her past, is tucked deep in her windbreaker, yet its weight presses her chest, a reminder she can't escape herself. The crowd, fishermen, children, townsfolk, stands silent, breathless, as if witnessing history unfold. The roar of a Navy fleet's engines rumbles from afar, powerful, like thunder heralding justice. Elena is no mere fisherman. She is a phantom of the Ghost Unit, a covert operative who executed nameless missions, shielding her nation from the world's darkest corners. The ID in her black wallet bears a top-secret code, tied to the name Elena Vale, declared dead in 2012 after a catastrophic mission in Yemen. But she didn't die. She chose to vanish, burying her identity under Marie Holt, living a life hauling nets to forget blood and smoke. The Coast Guard's actions, like foul mud, stirred the past she tried to entomb, pulling her back to the line between light and shadow. She stands still on the boat, her heart aching as if torn apart, yet her eyes remain defiant, a flame that never fades. A ship's horn slices the air, sharp and resolute. 3 Navy destroyers appear. Their steel bows gleam, flags flying proud. A helicopter sweeps overhead. Its blades shake the harbor, carrying the breath of justice. The crowd freezes. Fishermen drop nets. Children stumble. Clara, the cafe owner, drops her coffee cup, porcelain shattering at her feet. Every eye lifts, wide, as if beholding a memory reborn, a story thought confined to books. In Elena's heart, a tide of emotions surges. Fear of exposure entwines with pride in having lived for something greater than herself. Asher Kane, her old comrade, steps off the lead ship. His officer's uniform glints in the light, but his eyes blaze, an unquenchable fire. 3 officers follow, their strides resolute, like warriors ready for any challenge. The crowd parts, clearing a path as Asher rushes to Elena. He grasps her hand, a firm, meaningful grip, and nods, as if reaffirming a long-held vow. His voice rings out, sharp, overpowering the engines. Elena Vale is no fisherman. She is a Special Forces operative, a phantom of the Ghost Unit, declared dead in 2012. The air falls silent. Only the distant horn echoes. Clara sobs, clutching her chest. Asher continues, his voice trembling with emotion. She saved my team in Yemen. The crowd shudders. All eyes fix on Elena. She stands, back straight, eyes blazing, as if her inner pain has forged into strength. She says nothing, but her presence is a declaration. She lived, she fought, and now she stands, despite everything. The Coast Guard officers, who once faced her with suspicion, now bow their heads, their eyes remorseful. Colonel Laura Bennett, base commander, steps from the crowd. Her white uniform gleams, medals shining on her chest. But the respect in her eyes shakes the air. She bows to Elena. Her voice resounds clear. Ms. Vale, the Navy owes you. She recounts, each word carved into the atmosphere, the nameless missions Elena undertook, protecting the nation from shadows. You are our flame, she says. And in that moment, the harbor seems to hold its breath. The crowd stills, then applause erupts, mingled with sobs. Colonel Bennett steps forward, presenting Elena with a Medal of Honor, inscribed, Nameless Phantom. Elena grips it, her eyes misting, not from weakness, but from the weight of years lived in silence. Asher approaches, embracing her, a comrade's hug from one who knows sacrifice's cost. A young officer steps up, handing her a folded flag, a symbol of gratitude. Elena holds it. Her eyes burn like fire, fierce and steadfast, as if declaring she's ready for whatever lies ahead. Galveston glows, not with physical light, but with Elena's flame, the fire of a woman who lived, fought, and is now recognized. But in her heart, a question lingers, a shadow that never leaves. What still hides in those years? And is she truly free? She stands amid applause, under the crowd's gaze, but in her mind she remains a phantom, forever bound by secrets she cannot speak. Elena Vale stands silent on the deck of Ghost's Whisper. The Medal of Honor gleams on her chest, her eyes a lighthouse piercing the harbor's haze. The boat, once halted by the Coast Guard, now stands as a symbol of an unyielding flame, illuminating memories of nameless missions she once carried out. The small town, once quiet with days of hauling nets, has become the epicenter of a larger story. Truth and justice intertwine, captivating a nation. In Elena's heart, pride mingles with pain. She survived. She's been recognized, but the past, like a specter, never rests. Below deck, in the dim cabin, Elena kneels, opening a hidden steel box. Her calloused hands, once pulling nets and gripping guns, tremble slightly as she retrieves a waterproof tablet. An encrypted signal pulses on the screen, marked Osiris, the name of a classified AI system designed to resurrect operatives from old data. The ghost unit didn't dissolve as she believed. It was hijacked, and Elena, with her death declared, is now its final target. She scans encrypted channels, uncovering a secret compound near Syria's border, where digital clones of her old comrades are being deployed. Her heart aches, as if sliced by a cold blade, as familiar faces appear, those she fought beside, now soulless data. Yet her eyes remain defiant, a flame that never fades. She adjusts the boat's course, cutting the engine. Ghost's Whisper drifts silently into a radar blind spot. That night, in darkness, Elena infiltrates the compound. Her steps are light but resolute, a true phantom. She destroys Osiris's data with a digital blast. The screen before her shatters in cold blue light. But from a shadowed corner, a clone of herself emerges, its eyes lifeless, voice steel. You can't erase us. Elena doesn't hesitate. She ignites a magnesium flare. Fire erupts, consuming the clone and the false memories it embodies. She escapes, heart pounding, but glancing at the tablet, Osiris's signal still blinks. The system has reactivated her identity, a curse unbreakable. From Pensacola's base, Asher Kane sends an encrypted message. We know where you are. Come back. Elena stares at the words on screen, but doesn't reply. She stands on the deck, clutching her medal. Her heart weighs like an ocean's crush. She doesn't want to return, to be a tool of a system that betrayed her. But if Osiris persists, blood will spill. Blood of innocence, of those she swore to protect. She opens the steel box again, retrieving a black triangular badge, the ghost unit's mark, and pins it to her jacket. Her hands, precise as those of one who prays through action, assemble a silenced carbine. Each motion is a vow. She'll fight, but on her own terms. The Navy, recognizing Elena's worth, offers her a role training young operatives. She declines. Instead, she agrees to protect Galveston through community programs, repaying the town that sheltered her. Nate, the boy whose fateful video sparked it all, now volunteers. His smile shines like dawn. Clara, with her generous heart, leads fundraisers for Elena's projects. Fishermen, once wary, now carve her name into the harbor. A tribute. A training center named Vale rises, preserving the Phantom's memory, not as myth, but as a living, breathing woman. Online, the They're Running video hits millions of views, each one a dagger reminding Elena of unwanted exposure. Comments flood. Elena Vale is light. The hashtag Had Ghosts Whisper spreads, a symbol of justice and hope. A distant family writes, Vale saved my father. Those brief words stir Elena's heart. She stands on the deck, gazing at the harbor where ordinary people live their lives. A faint smile crosses her lips, gentle yet profound, as if she sees the shadows of old comrades, those who fell, those she swore never to forget. But in Elena's heart, that memory isn't just light. It's deeper, fiercer, like a whisper from the dark, reminding her the war never ends. She grips the ghost badge, her eyes fix forward, where secrets still await. She knows, though Galveston shines for her, though the world calls her name, she remains a phantom, forever bound by nameless missions and by her own unyielding heart. The Medal of Honor gleams on Elena Vale's chest. It's not mere metal, but an undying flame, recounting the story of a woman once doubted as a simple fisherman who shattered the Osiris system, a plot to manipulate the memories of phantoms like her. Galveston, a humble harbor, now shines as a radiant arena. Loyalty, sacrifice, and justice are exalted here. In Elena's heart, pride mingles with pain. She has triumphed, but the scars of her past still smolder, like a fire that never fades. Beside her, Asher Kane, her old comrade with eyes etched by memory, and Nate, the boy whose fateful video sparked it all, stand silent. They gaze at the harbor, where Galveston's ordinary folk carry on. Yet now they hold a greater story in their hearts. Asher's eyes blaze, as if seeing the Elena of old, standing defiant on the edge of life and death, unyielding and fierce. Nate, with his childlike smile, now embodies hope, a new generation inspired by Elena's flame. In her heart, a tide of emotions surges, pride in protecting them, yet the loneliness of a phantom forever bound by her past. Galveston is no longer just a harbor. It's a flame, proving that resilience can overcome darkness. A single woman, forgotten by the world, can ignite a nation. The medal on Elena's chest, etched with time's scratches, symbolizes courage, the nameless missions she fulfilled. It lives on, not just in America's heart, but in every soul who hears this tale. Elena grips the medal, feeling its weight, as if embracing her fallen comrades. A faint smile crosses her lips, gentle yet profound, as if she sees them smiling back from distant realms, faces she swore never to forget. Elena's story isn't finished. It burns in every heart, a reminder of silent heroes, of flames that never die. It urges us to honor sacrifice, camaraderie, and unwavering loyalty. Galveston, with Elena's fire, calls us to share this story with friends, family, across America's expanse. It invites all to subscribe to Veteran Best Stories, where tales of valor are told, so this flame may forever light our hearts.